Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like hey, watch that on the beat, bro.
Hi everyone! Welcome to our programming lesson, and today we're going to talk about the Java programming. And don't worry if you're new to this, you don't know anything about the Java programming, or you don't know the basics of it. We'll explain it in simpler terms so you can easily follow along. And we expect that by the end of this video you'll understand the Java basic building blocks like syntax, keywords, identifiers, variables, and data types. And those are actually the foundation you need to start coding in Java. So, are you ready to learn? Then let's get started. Learning the basics of Java programming is important because it helps you understand how every part of a program works, just like what we're gonna discuss in this lesson, from syntax, keywords, identifiers, variables, and up to data types. These basics are like the building blocks of coding. Without them, you won't be able to create or even understand more advanced program. Knowing on how to use variables, choosing the right data types, and following the correct syntax makes your code work properly, and it prevents errors. In simple terms, mastering Java basics is like learning the ABCs before writing full sentences. Once you get it, everything else in programming becomes easier. Every programming language has its own grammar rules, and Java is no different. This is called the syntax. In Java, first, every program starts with something, class. Inside it, we usually have a main method. Think of this as the engine where your program starts running. For example, we have the public static void, which is this, and we're gonna try to code. So we're gonna type system.out.print ln open parenthesis, and we're gonna type hello world, close parenthesis, and then semicolon. If you run this, it will simply print hello world on the screen. And that's your first step into Java. So let's move on to Java keywords. Now let's talk about the Java keywords. In English, we have special reserved words like because or however, and that can't be changed. And in Java, it's the same. Keywords are special words reserved by the language itself, and you cannot use them as name for variables or classes. For example, words like class, public, static, and void are the keywords, and they have a fixed meaning to Java, so we can't use them for anything else. The third is the Java identifiers. So, if keywords are reserved, then what do we use to name our variables, classes, or methods? That's where identifiers come in. Identifiers are the name you create, like age, salary, or student name. And there are rules for identifiers. First, that they must start with a letter, underscore, or a $sign. Second rule is that they cannot start with a number. And third rule is that they cannot use Java keywords, what you have said earlier. So student1 is valid, but one student or class is not valid, okay? So now let's move on to Java variables. Variables are like containers or boxes that hold data while your program runs. For example, you want to store a student's age. You can use a variable, right? In Java, variables come in three main types. First type is that local variables, wherein local variables declared inside a method, they only exist while that method is running. Second is the instance variables, where it belongs to an object. Each object has its own copy. Third is static variables, which is a shared across all objects of class. Here's a quick example. So, depending on where you put the variable, it behaves differently. A quick example. So now let's move on to data types in Java. Variables need to know what kind of data they're holding. That is where data types come in. There are two main kinds of data types, which is the primitive data type and non-primitive data types. First is the primitive data type. These are the most basics. Number 1, Boolean, true or false. Number 2, byte, tiny whole number, short, small whole number, int. normal whole number, long big whole number, float, which is the decimal number or smaller precision, tuple, decimal number or higher precision, and lastly is char, a single character like A or B. Here we have an example. Talk about the non-primitive data type. And these are the things like strays, arrays, or objects. And these are built on top of the primitive data types, but we'll focus more of them in the future lessons. For today's lesson, we have covered a lot of Java basic syntax, keywords and the identifiers, variables and their type, and finally the different data types that you can use. Those are the foundation of Java programming, and once you understand them, writing more complex code becomes much easier. If this helped, don't forget to share this video so more people can learn about the programming in a simple way. Thanks for watching, and we'll take these basics and actually build something step by step. So, bye for now.